Hey you, yes, you. You're about to embark on a journey that could change the way you interact with the world, a journey into the depths of understanding human nature. The art of reading people's minds is not just about understanding what they're thinking. It's about tapping into the deeper layers of their being. It's about seeing beyond their words, hearing the unspoken, and sensing the energy they radiate. But before you dive into this art, let me ask you, do you really want to understand people, or do you want to manipulate them? The line between influence and manipulation is thin. The difference lies in the intention. What is your intention? Are you using this power to elevate others, to connect, to understand? Or are you using it for control? Understand this. The mind is a labyrinth. It holds countless thoughts, fears, desires, and secrets. And like a masterful detective, you must learn to read the clues scattered across the surface and beneath it. But remember, a true leader does not just read minds to gain advantage. They read minds to serve, to help others reach their highest potential, and to guide them toward the truth. The key to this power lies in compassion, not in exploitation. People speak without words. Words are only a small portion of the conversation. The body speaks louder than the mouth ever will. Pay attention to how someone stands, how they move, the subtle gestures they make. These are windows into their true feelings and thoughts. Do you think they're confident? Look at their posture. A person who feels small will make themselves smaller. A person who feels large will take up space. Have you ever noticed how someone's energy shifts when they lie? They might look away, shift their weight, or their hands might start to fidget. A lie isn't just something they say, it's something they become. Their entire being tries to cover up the truth. Do you listen with your eyes, with your senses? Or do you only listen with your ears? Pay attention to the eyes, for they are the windows to the soul. When someone is hiding something, their eyes betray them. They may not look you in the eye, or they may look too deeply into yours, trying to divert suspicion. Are you seeing the truth in their eyes, or are you letting them deceive you with empty words? But let's take it further. Are you aware of your own movements? How often do you lie to yourself? Do you think you are always in control of your own body language? Or is it possible that your own unconscious mind betrays you too in subtle ways? Every little movement tells a story, and if you want to read others, you must first learn to read yourself. Silence speaks volumes. The moments of silence are the most powerful. Think about the times when a conversation has paused, and you could feel the tension in the air. You didn't need words to understand what was happening. The silence was filled with meaning. Silence is often more telling than anything that is said. When you are with someone, and the silence between you becomes uncomfortable, what does it tell you? It tells you that something is being hidden, that something is unsaid, and that something is worth paying attention to. In moments of silence, people will reveal more than they realize. The truth is often spoken in the gaps between words. What are they avoiding? What are they afraid of? The silence tells you what their words can't. Now pause and ask yourself, when was the last time you sat in silence with someone and listened to the unspoken? What did their silence say to you? Did you truly hear it, or were you too eager to fill the space with your own thoughts? The unspoken is the most powerful. A person's emotional state is often hidden beneath layers of defense mechanisms. We all wear masks, not necessarily to deceive others, but to protect ourselves. The mask we wear may be a shield to guard our vulnerabilities, our insecurities. People often don't reveal their true selves because they fear judgment, rejection, or exposure. But beneath that mask lies the real person, the one who is afraid, the one who desires, the one who loves. Have you ever met someone and felt an immediate connection, as if you've known them for a long time? This is not magic. This is the power of being attuned to their energy. The energy that flows from one person to another is more revealing than any set of words. Can you feel it? Do you sense it? It's there, constantly shifting, guiding the relationship. Have you ever been in a conversation where words felt empty, and yet You felt a deep sense of understanding, even without being told the truth. That is the power of energy, of reading, the subtle signals people give off without even realizing it. We are all energy, vibrating at different frequencies. The key to reading someone's mind lies in tuning into their frequency, understanding their emotional state, and aligning with their energy. The power of empathy. Empathy is the most potent tool in understanding people. To truly read someone's mind, you must step into their shoes. You must feel what they feel, understand their perspective, and see the world through their eyes. But this goes beyond intellectual understanding. Empathy is about connecting at the emotional level, sensing what they may not be able to put into words. Can you feel the weight of their emotions, even when they try to hide it? Do you understand their struggles, even if they are too proud to admit them? True empathy does not just observe, it actively participates in the experience of another person's pain, joy, or fear. It goes beyond sympathy. It's about truly connecting, without judgment, without expectation. Have you ever had a conversation where you felt completely understood? Where you didn't need to explain yourself because the other person had already sensed your thoughts, your emotions, and your needs? That is the power of deep empathy. It is the most profound form of connection. Empathy requires vulnerability. It requires you to open up your heart and listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Are you willing to be vulnerable in your relationships, or do you hide behind your own defenses? Can you truly connect with another person on a deep level, or are you too busy protecting yourself? The question of intention. Before you go deeper into the art of reading minds, you must first ask yourself, what is your intention? Are you trying to manipulate, to control, or are you genuinely seeking to understand? If your goal is anything but pure understanding, you are on the wrong path. The power to read others is a gift, not a weapon. So I ask you, what is your intention when you seek to understand someone? Are you seeking to build a deeper connection, to help them grow? Or are you seeking to gain an advantage? To become an expert in reading people's minds, you must cultivate the highest level of integrity. This power, if used wrongly, can break trust, destroy relationships, and cause pain. But used correctly, it can create profound, lasting connections. So, ask yourself again, what is your intention? The ability to read people is not just a skill, it's a responsibility. It's a gift that must be used with wisdom, compassion, and respect. To truly understand another person is to honor their humanity, to recognize their fears and desires, and to help them realize their potential. And as you listen to the unspoken, as you tune into their energy, as you step into their shoes, remember this: you are not just reading their mind, you are opening your heart. And through that heart, you will find the key to everything. There's a saying, the devil is in the details. In truth, the divine is also in the details. The subtle cues people give are where you will find the most truth. A slight twitch in their eye, a nervous cough, a change in their breathing pattern. These are not insignificant. These are the clues, the breadcrumbs that will lead you to the heart of their thoughts. Are you paying attention to these details? Or are you too focused on your own thoughts, your own concerns? The art of reading people requires you to observe, to take in the full spectrum of their behavior. It's not just the grand gestures, but the small, inconspicuous ones. It's the way their voice trembles when they speak about something they fear, or how their shoulders relax when they talk about something they love. These are the tiny details that reveal the true state of their mind. But observation is not just about what you see on the surface, it's about what you feel. Have you ever been in a room and just felt the energy shift? Something subtle but undeniable? Maybe someone walked in, and the atmosphere changed. The way they hold themselves, the way they speak, the way they listen. Everything. They do broadcasts a message. Are you sensitive to that message? Or do you overlook it because you're too focused on your own inner dialogue? True observation is a skill, a muscle that can be trained. It's not enough to just look. You must see. You must be willing to look deeper than the surface, to read between the lines and listen to the spaces between words. How often have you found that people reveal their deepest truths when they least expect it? A fleeting gesture, an unguarded moment. This is where the truth is often hidden. But can you catch it? The layers of the mind. Understanding someone's thoughts isn't about reading a book. It's about peeling back layers one by one. You have to understand that each person is like an onion, with layers of emotions, experiences, fears, and desires. To truly read someone, you must be willing to peel back those layers gently and with care. It's not a race. It's an art, one that requires patience, intuition, and compassion. But let me ask you, how often do you rush to judgment? How often do you assume you know what someone is thinking because of a surface-level impression? When you make assumptions without understanding the layers beneath, you risk misunderstanding. You risk closing the door to deeper connection and missing the beauty of the complexity that lies within every human being. Consider this. Have you ever misread someone based on a superficial observation, only to realize later that you were wrong? And when you realized you were wrong, did you take the time to uncover the layers beneath, or did you move on, thinking you had already figured them out? The power of reading people lies in the willingness to go deeper, to understand them fully, and not just judge them based on what they show you in the first few moments of interaction. The power of listening. One of the greatest skills in reading people is listening. Not the passive listening we often do, where we wait for our turn to speak, but active listening. The kind of listening where you hang on every word, where you are not just hearing their voice, but feeling their energy, understanding their motivations, and seeing their fears. This kind of listening requires complete presence. When you listen like this, you are no longer just a passive observer. You become a part of the conversation, a part of their world. You become someone who understands. But here's the question. Are you truly listening? Or are you simply waiting for the next opportunity to speak? Are you hearing their words? Or are you hearing your own voice inside your head, ready to react? Listening is not just about hearing, it's about understanding. It's about stepping into their world, feeling their emotions, and recognizing the deeper truth beneath their words. The best communicators in the world are often the best listeners. They know that understanding another person begins with listening, with truly hearing them. Can you listen like this? Or do you only hear with the intention to respond, not to understand? The art of asking questions. In your pursuit of understanding others, questions are your greatest ally. But it's not just any question you ask. It's the right question. A well-crafted question can unlock a person's heart, their fears, and their desires. The right question can cut through the layers of defensiveness and open a door to their innermost self. But the key to asking the right question is intent. When you ask, you must ask with curiosity, not with judgment. You must ask with the intent to understand, not to manipulate. The best questions are those that encourage the other person to reflect, to reveal more than they intended, to expose their truth. Have you ever been asked a question that made you stop and think, that made you question your assumptions or beliefs? A question so profound that it cut through all your defenses and made you rethink everything you knew? This is the power of the right question. And the beauty of it is, you don't need to ask a lot of questions to read someone's mind. Sometimes, a single well-placed question can reveal more than 1,000 words. But again, ask yourself, are you asking the right questions? Or are you asking questions with an agenda? The power of asking the right question lies in your ability to listen deeply to the answer, without preconceived notions or judgments. The importance of patience. Reading someone's mind is not something that can be rushed. It is not a trick or a shortcut. It is a slow, deliberate process. You cannot rush understanding. True understanding takes time, and it requires patience. If you try to rush the process, if you try to force someone to reveal themselves before they are ready, you risk pushing them away. Understanding people is not about extracting information from them. It's about allowing them to reveal themselves in their own time and in their own way. Have you ever been in a conversation where you felt rushed, where the other person was eager to get to the point without giving you the space to express yourself? Did it make you feel heard, or did it make you feel like just another puzzle piece to be solved? True connection happens when both people are patient, when both people are willing to take the time to understand each other, to listen, and to allow each other to reveal their deepest thoughts and feelings. So, ask yourself, are you patient enough to truly understand someone? Or do you rush them trying to get to the heart of the matter before they are ready? Patience is not a virtue. It's a necessity when it comes to reading minds. And finally, the responsibility. The ability to read people's minds is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. When you understand someone, when you see beneath their surface, you must handle that knowledge with care. You must treat their vulnerabilities, their fears, and their desires with respect. You cannot use this understanding to manipulate or control them. You cannot exploit their weaknesses for your own gain. So I ask you, how will you use the gift of understanding? Will you use it to lift others up, to help them grow, to guide them toward their highest potential? Or will you use it to manipulate, to control, and to get what you want? The choice is yours. And may you learn from these wise words and rise up just as the sun rises in the morning, piercing through the darkness forced on you.